We'll bring in Sean after a reminder that Mint Mobile is the official cell phone sponsor of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint makes it simple. All plans come with a high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your own phone and keep your same numbers in contact. So if you're ready to say yes to saying no, make the switch at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNFL. Upfront payment of $45 is required. Limited time new customer offer for 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on the unlimited plan. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
You know, I've been in this business for 25 years, and yet whenever I get, like Shaun King, he texted me last week and was sending me some videos that were very interesting. But my friends from when I was a kid, you know, they're not in this business and they haven't been around athletes. So they're always impressed when I tell them, hey, Shaun King, former NFL quarterback, he just texted me. Like the guys who aren't in this business, they're always impressed. They're like, wow. You know, like when I tell them, I got a text from Bernie. I got a text from Shaun King. I got a text from, whoever. Not that I get a million texts from former athletes, but when I do, my friends always like to hear about that back home.
I'm just shocked that he don't got no intro video for us this
That's
week.
crazy. You supposed to send
true,
in. Where's the B-roll, Sean? You ain't got no B-roll?
We're not allowed to use any of it anymore.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's no
right.
More
So it was you that got us in trouble.
Hey, Sean, give us your analysis of Shedeur's performance against the Titans.
Well, I want to do a macro intro.
Yeah.
And I want to start at the top.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to this particular position, there are a lot of people that cover the league that have platforms, that have different levels of importance, but there's very few people that have actual expertise when it comes to quarterback evaluation.
True.
And this is where I like to separate myself. And if you think about from the very beginning, I said it was egregious that they selected Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round. Even if they never took Shedeur Sanders, that was egregious. I said I had a late first, early second round grade on Shedeur, which I think is pretty spot on. I think he fell in the draft due to some concerns that maybe were self-inflicted, but I still think anything past the 3rd round was egregious by the National Football League. I think the organization internally has to, first of all, admit that they made a huge mistake. They made a huge mistake on draft day. See, sometimes to move forward and for wounds to heal, you got to say, I'm sorry, my bad. Like sometimes with your homeboy, you do something that ain't right. Like you gotta go offline to your homeboy, A.G. Bush, man, my bad, man. Man, you know that ain't me, dog. Will you please forgive me? For our relationship to be the same moving forward, sometimes you got to do that. And I think that's what the Browns are. And I think the way they do that is by saying, you know what? We found our quarterback. Forget the process and how bungled it was for him to get here. We found our quarterback. I've always said about Shedeur Sanders, he has really, really great functional mobility, meaning his ability to move in the pocket. He's got good lower body strength. The first defensive player never really gets him down. Now, he doesn't have top-end acceleration. He don't have top-end, speed. He's not a 4.3 guy, but he's extremely functionally mobile, which is enough. He can pick up a 3rd and 6. With his legs. He can get out of the initial, liability and pass protection, by being able to extend the play. Some of the concerns we had about him coming in, pocket awareness, he's been A+. You can see he's going out of his way not to lose ground in the pocket, to be more composed when it's chaotic. His body language, which I've talked about a lot on here, very, very professional. I said that, because of the position, you don't have to do all the antics. What has he done? He's eliminated a lot of the antics. Like sometimes every now and then it'll pop up, but for the most part, he's eliminated the antics. And I said all this to say this. This is the best version of Shedeur Sanders because for the first time in his entire football career, he's felt like he has to prove himself. And moving forward, a lot of times the prime sexuals, they get advice construed as criticism.
That's true.
He has to stay in the same mental space he's in now. He's got to stay in that back against the wall. I'm the underdog. Nobody believes in me. Every down, I got to prove that I belong in this league because That's where he is. That's where Tyler Shook is. That's where Cam Ward is. That's where Jackson Dart is. Like, think back to last year. Anthony Richardson had stretches where he was the top play on SportsCenter.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the year, the organization's like, we got to go get a vet. We go get Daniel Jones. By the time the season starts, Daniel Jones is a starter. So Shedeur has to keep that chip on his shoulder, hungry, I'm fully locked in approach, but the Browns have to also acknowledge that they have their franchise quarterback, and here's why. They got a lot of other stuff to fix. And having a fifth-round pick at quarterback gives you 2 more years to fix it before you got to pay the quarterback the going rate.
Shaun, so you're convinced already? You don't think there's anything left to prove? You think he's proven he's the franchise quarterback?
Well, here's the thing if you're unsure. Cleveland had the worst skill position group in the National Football League until Shedeur became the quarterback. Now all of a sudden, man, Jerry Jeudy had an explosive play. Oh man, Isaiah Bond, he don't look that bad. Oh man, Jerome Ford making plays on third down. Like all of a sudden, these guys don't look like, ramen noodle. They look like you at a high end, Thai restaurant. All of a sudden, not that they're elite, but he has them believing that they're capable of being NFL guys. And that's really important when it comes to this game.
Shaun, when you watched him in this performance, a lot of the criticism from last week from the 49ers game was on playing on time. Would you say that he's kind of figured that out, but also he's holding the ball, what you say, McNugget, second in the league and holding the ball?
Second highest in the league.
So which one is it? Is he playing on time, but he's still holding the ball? Like, which one do you lean towards that to work?
Well, here's what's interesting. The O-line's gotten no credit. They played pretty darn good in the Titans game. Overall, compared to how they have been playing, was I watching a bad game? At least in the pass protection, I didn't think he was under immediate duress on every play. I thought there were times that Jerry Jeudy threw down the field. There were some times where I felt like he had substantial pass protection. And when you got pass protection and you're trying to let the play develop, why not? People talk about his completion percentage. I am so proud of the fact that he's not doing like a lot of these bootlegging Yahoo quarterbacks in the league who won't throw the ball away, Dak Prescott, because they don't want all these incompletions, that make the completion percentage look bad. He's throwing the ball away instead of taking a sack. I applaud him for that, because if you look around the league, there's a whole lot of that foolishness going on. Dak Prescott is the number 1 culprit in the entire National Football League.
Damn. Dak Prescott catching strays here.
Hey, man. Shaun,
Dak ain't never did nothing to nobody.
Damn, Shaun.
I'll give you, and I'm going to get to this, I'll give you credit for this. You pulled up on the barbershop and you talked about, you gave a story. You gave a story about you and Dan Orlowski. And you said, man, I had to learn how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? I was just coming in. And I think since you had that conversation, you said, hey, listen, man, people lost it a little bit, but you was like, no, let me just tell you, let me pull you something aside. I done been here. When you in this game, you got to learn how to play the game. And people will use certain things against you. How, in terms of, Shedeur Sanders being asked questions about Kevin Stefanski and asked this and that and the third, is he trying to sabotage you? And I think, this is wild work. I don't know what type of.
Phone?
I'm sorry, Shaun. I had the phone and it's just like crazy. It just keep going off, man. It's a bad job out of me, but but you said with Shedeur, you looked at the situation and said, make sure they understand where you at. If you be there, you walk past the coach's room and be like, hey, how you doing? I'm just going over the 3rd of 12 stuff. Hey, coach, hey, Jerry Jeudy, down the street. Yeah. What you think about this when it's second and short and medium? So how have you seen he's evolved?
But to your point, the narrative has gone from Shedeur don't sit in the front of the meetings. They say he's not all the way locked into, Mary Kay Abbott, who right in front of me. Shedeur's in Stefanski's office. Every time well-off media posts on what Shedeur got now. He got that iPad.
Got it.
Right? And see, that's what I was trying to tell people. Stop misconstruing advice and thinking it's criticism. Like, you got an opportunity through me, who went through it, who did it the wrong way at times, to tell you exactly what's going on in the rooms inside the organization. It was even the Tuesday thing where he was, working out at the other college. Oh, hell no. If you're going to put extra work in, you got to do it right there at the facility. Make sure everybody in that building knows what you're doing at that position, because now the narrative will be favorable for you and not against you. And it will matter, guys, because I'm going to say it right now. He's going to play a bad game before the year's over.
Yep.
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes played a bad game the other day. We've seen Josh Allen play a bad game against the Texans on prime time. I mean, it's going to happen. Lamar Jackson's played multiple bad games. This is a hard league. Like, people are talking about Shedeur Sanders in the Titans-Browns game, and I think Shedeur established himself. To me, if I was a GM of the organization, I would say we found our franchise quarterback. We got to go about the process while he's on a team-friendly contract of filling all the holes we have around him. But as an evaluator, the best throw in the game was made by Cam Ward. He throws a seam ball to the left slot on cover 3 as he's getting hit.
That was crazy.
It might have been the best throw we saw on Sunday.
You know what's funny, Sean? Sean, sorry to cut you off, but you know what's funny? You said that, like, now people are saying all these good things about Shedeur, about, like practice and working with Stefanski. I just saw an article this morning that said Cam Ward pissed off all his teammates on the flight home, and like people are starting to nitpick at him a little bit, which seems weird. It's considering he's got zero talent around him there in Tennessee.
And he's in a very difficult situation because Cam wants to win, and I'm not sure that everybody on that roster feels the same way. But it's very hard for a young player to speak up, but he's the number 1 pick in the draft. But also, he's head coachless. So where's his support coming from when he tries to do things the right way? Because every team got like a group of outcasts.
Yep.
That one group, they always, if they not late to a meeting, if the meeting started at 8 a.m., they are walking in the meeting at 7:59, 58. Like, if everybody taking notes, they got one AirPod, and they're like, every team has like this group that's like out to sabotage the whole thing. But the good organizations have enough of the right cultural infrastructure to keep that at bay. But I'm not sure that Cam Ward has that. I think what Shedeur has is Shedeur's got guys that I think really want to win. I think there are guys that are frustrated. To Kevin Stefanski in the conversation y'all were having earlier, Coach Stefanski, it's egregious for you to continue to only utilize that Wildcat package with the tight end and the running back because Shedeur's athletic enough to get involved in the run component of it. Like structurally, why guys like to do that, it gives you an extra hat. Right? Because now the runner is the quarterback. And so now the guy that would normally be the tailback, that's an extra hat that you can put to block another defender. But Shedeur's athletic enough to do a lot of that stuff. And now you also have the threat of throwing the ball. So I think Stefanski, I get it if Joe Flacco's the quarterback, but with all the other quarterbacks that he has, like on the roster, Deshaun Watson, Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur, I don't feel like you have to be so dependent on that inside the 5.
Shaun, you're 48, right?
Feel 40, but yeah, I'm 48.
Good. I'm glad you feel 40. You know that the Colts is bringing in Phillip Rivers for a tryout.
Yes.
Oh.
Did they hit you up? Did you let them know that you still got it?
Hey, I'm waiting on Phillip to call me and tell me he can get out the bed right now. Like it looked good.
Sean, how would you do if you had to play right now, Sean?
John, the quarterback, these young quarterbacks ain't developing, so they got to keep going to these 40-plus-year-old guys. Yeah. You can pull it off. I'm telling you, with the knowledge that you got, you probably still saying.
You know how them young boys say, man, I just went and got a bag. That'll strictly be what this will be about.
You know what? Remember that movie? What was the name of the movie where Bernie Mac came out of retirement to play for the
Mr.
Brewers?
3000.
Yeah, that would be Sean there. Like, and
hitting the baseball is slightly different than being back there in that Lions den, especially now, boy. Ooh.
Yeah.
They'd be like, the coach got a new fullback back here. When is
you're gonna lead block for Jonathan Taylor.
hold on now. Come on now.
Hey, Sean. Hey, remember the cafeteria? Everybody be laughing, and then all of a sudden, the one dude on the side be like, "Oh no, hold on, we're not gonna take that from you. Under no circumstances are you gonna be crying."
Hey, Sean, I got a question for you, Sean.
I'll play guard for you, Sean. I'll play guard for you.
Hold on, man. I was saying, do Bull not realize he on camera too now?
What do you think? I don't realize I'm fat? I mean, listen. Sean, hey, it's funny because I don't know. I think I probably told this story. About 10 years ago, I joined it was probably longer than that. It was probably like 20 years ago, but whatever. I joined a flag football league, right? And here I am thinking I'm an offensive lineman. First play of the game, I'm like, all right, we're going to run, blah, blah, blah. I go out there and block. I got a good block. I knock this little guy on his ass. I'm like, all right, here we go. Second play, I'm getting cocky now, Sean. I'm like, all right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to run.
Take over Spears.
I swear to you, I said, I'm going to pull. I'm going to pull from the right to the left. Follow me down the left sideline. I'm going to knock everybody on their ass. So I get out of my stand. I pull. Pop. Both hamstrings. Both quads. I pop both quads, and that was the end of my career. 2 plays, Sean.
So, Sean.
So I'm aware of my fatness, yes.
Sean, let me ask you this. We're going to talk about this after you hop off, but I'm curious before.
The mean green.
Deshaun, well, we can ask about Tulane.
Yeah, we got to ask about that.
Deshaun Watson, according to Adam Schefter, will be back on the Browns roster next year, the final year of his contract. If you were the Browns coaching staff, front office, whoever in that building, what would you do with Deshaun next season? And will he ever play again?
I like to admit when I don't know something, I'm not sure the actual impact of Deshaun's or of our options as it pertains to Deshaun.
The cap hit would be huge. The cap hit would be huge, but they could deal with it. They could deal with it because they're not paying their starting quarterback anything.
But the point being, if we wait another year, does it give us more flexibility in the short and long term? Like, I would need to know all the different angles. I say that to say this. It looks like Deshaun and Shedeur get along pretty well.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So, to me, there is a scenario where I name Shedeur the starting quarterback and we have Deshaun as the backup. Because you need 2 quarterbacks more than likely in today's game. And the only reason I say that, Shedeur is a strong enough personality that he would be okay with Deshaun being his backup. And I think because they get along, Deshaun would be okay collecting that check and kind of being a support system for Shedeur. It seems like that relationship could work.
You're right. Would you draft Drew Aller in the 6th round?
Oh, stop.
If you want to get fired. remember what I told you. Remember what I told you about expertise, right? James Franklin got fired at Penn State because he was wrong on Drew Aller and he never would admit it. Drew Aller never got better from the highly rated, highly decorated high school player he was when he arrived at Penn State. If you go back and look at that semifinal game that they lost because of the quarterback. Like, sometimes you got to be honest with yourself when you make a bad decision. We talked about this, especially if you don't have anybody internally that can develop the position. James Franklin got fired because he kept playing Drew Aller. I truly believe if they went to Bo Prabella, that Franklin would still be at Penn State.
I feel like what you just said is the same thing I feel about Bryce Underwood for the Wolverines.
Hey.
So let me say this. Let me say this about Bryce. To whom much is given, much is required. When you're gonna pay these incoming freshmen these big NIL deals, you can't coddle them. Like when you watch Michigan, Ohio State, they tried to win without using the quarterback. Like they dominated the first quarter of that game, but they were so conservative. They wouldn't let the kid throw. Like me as a play caller, I would have went into that game and said, it's Sharon, right? That's
Sharon Moore. Yeah. Sharon Moore.
Sharon Moore. I would have said, lose, win, or draw, I'm going to call this game like we got 4th year J.J. McCarthy here. We're going to throw the ball. We're going to run our regular offense because we got to see what Bryce can really handle. And if he can't handle it, then good. We got a lot of film we can develop
Shaun,
and improve this offseason.
Shaun, they got a future first-round pick at wide receiver. Andrew Marsh is a really good wide receiver. So
He is. First time you could say that about Michigan.
I know.
That's
right?
normally an Ohio State thing.
But let me get to this. I want to get to because I can't believe we didn't get to this. There's two questions really quickly. When you came in the barbershop, you had Mendoza. You said Dante Moore should go back to school, and you had Ty Simpson. What's the update on that? And then give us your thoughts on Tulane.
So Ty Simpson is coming back to school. Outside of Kalen DeBoer leaving Alabama in some kind of surprise move, I think he's going back and he should. Talented, not quite ready. Dante Moore is interesting because Will Stein, the OC, left to go to Kentucky. I was told Brian Hartline was leaving Ohio State to go be the OC at Oregon. And a lot of people didn't know that. But he took the USF job.
He's the head coach at South Florida.
Right. No, I know that. I'm saying before he took the USF head coach job,
Gotcha.
I heard he was going to leave and go to Oregon. So I don't know what Moore is going to do depending on what they get from OC. Mendoza, I was worried in the first half because he looked a little skittish. He looked uncomfortable in the pocket. He looked like the game was too big for him. But that kid's second half performance was big time. Now, he's a little awkward, so I don't know that he fits in every city.
He's a weirdo.
I mean,
he weird.
Like if I'm a head coach in college, I don't put him on the road to recruit unless it's Utah, Montana, Oklahoma. He's not gonna fit.
South Dakota State.
What a dork! He is such a dork.
He got
He's not gonna fit a whole lot of other places. But I mean, you got to take your hat off to the kid, boy. He stood in that pocket, made some big time throws and checks in the second half of that Big Ten championship. Indiana looks the real deal. Hopefully, 3 is healthy. The wide receiver, we'll see. Tulane, we deserve to be in. Listen, stop trying to move the goalposts. When they come into college football,
talk your ish. Talk your stuff.
Don't start this, man.
When they made the college football playoff, it's only 2 years old, right? They said the highest rated group of 5 team get in.
Right.
We ain't got nothing to do with James Madison. Tulane is the highest rated group of 5 team. We beat the ACC champion Duke. We beat Northwestern. We went outside of our G5 little bubble.
What happened when y'all played Ole Miss in the regular season?
Yeah, man, we had food poisoning, man. They put us in that Holiday Inn in Oxford. You know what I'm saying? They got us with the doors open right outside. But see, we learned our lesson. We're going to stay in Memphis or in New Orleans and just drive over there to games. So we're not going to make that mistake twice. Tulane beat Ole Miss. But I'm tired of people coming. I'm tired of people coming to my alma mater. We belong in the college football playoff.
Now you
don't.
Hey, all Tulane has to do to shut everybody up is win this game.
Shaun, listen.
They head coachless. They might as well.
Can we? I'm going to invite you. I didn't even ask nobody. Now listen, the Shedorians is running the chat. We can do everything we want now.
The prime section.
When you
I like the prime section.
When you coming into town, you can post up on the studio. I don't know if you can smoke in here, but when
You cannot. Unfortunately, you cannot smoke.
When you go come pull up on the studio, man.
Yeah, let me talk to my guy behind the scenes there, man, with them deep pockets. Let me say this. Because when I come on here, I really like to use the platform because you guys have such a passionate fan base. I've told you all the interactions I've had on social media and in person. Big shout out to you guys and your reach. But to every diehard Shedeur Sanders fan out there, I got a message. He's good enough without your extremism. You make it more difficult for him to be embraced and accepted because you're so over the top. Like, show love without discontent. Right? Just support him. Just root for him. You don't got to attack everybody who doesn't say exactly what you want him to say. Stop these let's put him in the Pro Bowl campaigns. Stop these let's vote for MVP campaigns. Just sit back and the love will emanate through the TV because he's good enough on his own.
And will you throw?
That's a great comment. I agree 100%.
Shaun, now will you throw the wrist up before you leave up out of here? Are you gonna do that real quick?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I do appreciate that.